Hi everyone, my name is Gautam Gupta and I want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Universal Fundamentals. In this video, I am going to continue my series on the 2025 Vedic astrology yearly predictions for all the 12 ascendants and moon signs and how these planetary transits will be affecting you based on your ascendant and moon sign. In this video, I will exclusively be talking about Leo ascendants and moon signs. Now, 2025 is going to be a monumental year because all of the slower moving planets will be changing signs at some point in 2025. And this is going to bring huge shifts to everyone's life depending on what your ascendant and moon sign are. And when I talk about the slower moving planets, I am talking about the nodes Rahu and Ketu, Jupiter, as well as Saturn. All of these three planets will be shifting signs in the coming year of 2025. And in fact, Jupiter will travel through three signs as it will be moving pretty quickly in 2025. Now, before I begin this discussion in detail, I do want to remind everyone to please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com, where you can learn more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer. You can also check out the various services that I offer, and I will be leaving links down below so you all can check them out in more detail. I also want to remind everyone that I do practice sidereal Vedic astrology and not Western tropical astrology. Also, if you find this video to be helpful and useful, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. Doing so will really help me out with the YouTube algorithm so this video can reach a vast audience. So with that being said, I will now begin discussing how all of these planetary transits will affect a Leo ascendant and or moon sign for the year 2025. So the first important transit I want to start discussing for a Leo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Saturn will continue to remain in your seventh house of Aquarius until March 29th of 2025. And this tells me that relationships with business partners and or with your significant other will continue to require a great deal of focus, commitment, duty, and sacrifice. But I do think at this point, you will start to reap the rewards of all the hard work you have put into these relationships. You will finally feel a sense of deep connection, understanding, and mutual respect towards one another, and this will feel extremely satisfying. Now, with Saturn's third aspect to your ninth house, this does tell me that you will continue to put in a lot of effort when it comes to maintaining your relationships with your father and teachers. And you will be putting a lot of effort into your higher education studies and maintaining your spiritual beliefs. But because Saturn will be leaving the sign of Aquarius soon, you will start reaping the rewards of all the hard work you've been putting in towards these areas. And with Saturn's seventh aspect to your first house, this tells me that all the heavy responsibilities and health issues you may have faced will start coming to a resolution since Saturn will be leaving the sign of Aquarius soon. You will start feeling a sense of accomplishment and relief regarding all of the responsibilities you have fulfilled and completed, and this will actually help improve your overall health and well-being. Because when you finish and accomplish something important, you feel really good about yourself. So this will help you greatly. And finally, with Saturn's 10th aspect to your fourth house, this tells me that you will be continuing to address any issues regarding your mother, real estate, domestic life, and or vehicle matters. There could be some karmic obligations in this area, but because Saturn will be leaving the sign of Aquarius soon, you could be coming into some resolution and closure regarding this. Now, normally Saturn's 10th aspect to the fourth house indicates challenges in that area. However, because transiting Jupiter in Taurus is also aspecting the fourth house, this is creating a point of manifestation. So therefore, you will continue to have opportunities to flourish in your fourth house matters with relationships regarding your mother, domestic life, peace of mind, happiness, real estate, and or vehicle matters. This point of manifestation in your fourth house of Scorpio will continue until March 29th of 2025, which is when Saturn transits into the sign of Pisces. Now, the next important transit I want to discuss for a Leo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Jupiter will continue to remain in your 10th house of Taurus until May 14th, 2025. And a very important event that is occurring on February 4th of 2025 is that transiting Jupiter will be turning direct 17 degrees of Taurus. So if you happen to have a planet that is around 14 to 20 degrees of Taurus, Virgo, Scorpio, and or Capricorn, then you are going to have many blessings, successes, and opportunities blossoming due to anything you may have seized during the first 2 weeks of July 2024, especially when it came to your career, social standing, and reputation. This will also be incredible for things related to your second house matters, such as family and financial matters. This will also be beneficial for your fourth house matters, such as your relationship with your mother, domestic life, and anything to do with your real estate and or vehicle matters. This will also be great for your sixth house matters, such as your relationships with coworkers and or employees. I also see your daily work routine and health matters improving quite significantly throughout this transit. Now, another important transit I want to mention is that transiting Venus will be exalted in your eighth house of Pisces from January 27th of 2025 until May 30th of 2025. And while it is in the sign of Pisces, it will be forming a mutual exchange with transiting Jupiter, which is in your 10th house of Taurus up until May 14th of 2025. Now, the reason why I want to talk about Venus being in Pisces is because this is going to be a special transit. Venus normally stays in one sign for about a month, but this time it will be staying in the sign of Pisces for about 4 months, which is due to the fact that transiting Venus will be turning retrograde from March 2nd of 2025 until April 14th of 2025. And while Venus remains direct in your eighth house, this will actually give you several opportunities to engage in research projects regarding topics that are of great interest to you. And this can even be related to your career since Venus's dispositor Jupiter is in your 10th house and forming a mutual exchange. You may even become involved in studying metaphysical or occult sciences where you start getting to the core and bottom of things. I also see financial matters improving while Venus is exalted in your eighth house, and you could be receiving some unearned wealth at this time. Or if you are married, then it is quite possible your joint assets will do very well at this time. Now, one thing you have to be aware of is that Venus will turn retrograde from March 2nd of 2025 until April 14th of 2025. And this will be a transit where you have to exercise caution and care. You will have to be extremely careful with your financial matters, especially when it comes to your joint assets or unearned wealth. Please refrain from taking any major risks regarding your joint assets or unearned wealth. And please be careful concerning any scandals within your workplace, and in particular, scandals related to females. Please continue to maintain your professionalism and stay calm throughout this Venus retrograde transit. But the good news is that once Venus does become direct, after April 14th of 2025, you will be easily able to resolve any of these conflicts that come your way. Now, while Venus is going to be in your eighth house of Pisces, it is going to be conjunct with Rahu in your eighth house, and Ketu is going to be in your second house of Virgo until May 29th of 2025. And this transit is going to prompt you to continue to remain extremely engaged in your research projects. You will also remain engaged in your metaphysical studies as well as maintaining your relationships with the in-laws and joint asset matters. But I will say that because Rahu is in your eighth house, please continue to remain transparent regarding your financial matters because things can backfire on you if you're not. Now, an extremely important part about this transit is that starting March 29th of 2025, transiting Saturn will also join Rahu in your eighth house of Pisces. And this is going to really change things to a completely different level. And this conjunction will last 2 months. And you will have to be extremely careful about your actions during this time because any wrongdoings will backfire against you and the consequences can actually magnify. So make sure you remain in your best behavior. And with Saturn's third aspect to your 10th house, this tells me that you will be putting in a lot of effort when it comes to your career, social standing, reputation, and fame in order to maintain good standing. This is a time when shortcuts will not be appreciated. You need to do things with due diligence and care in order for you to reap these benefits and rewards. But while Jupiter is in the 10th house until May 14th of 2025, I do see a certain amount of protection and growth when it comes to your career, fame, reputation, and social standing. And this will be due to the fact that Saturn's third aspect to your 10th house and Jupiter transiting the 10th house of Taurus until May 14th of 2025 is providing a point of manifestation. So I do think just for that time frame, you will be protected with your 10th house matters. However, once Jupiter leaves the sign of Taurus, then you will have to be extremely careful when it comes to your 10th house matters. Then with Saturn's seventh aspect to your second house, this tells me that you will have to do a very thorough and diligent job when it comes to managing your financial situation and dealing with any family matters. There could be a lot of issues that come up between you and your family, and it will be important to address these issues in a loving way in order to maintain peace and harmony. Now, the good news is that up until May 14th of 2025, transiting Jupiter will also cast its fifth aspect to your second house. So you will have a good amount of protection and stability when it comes to your family and financial matters due to its point of manifestation. However, once transiting Jupiter leaves the sign of Taurus after May 14th of 2025, you will have to be extra careful when it comes to managing your money and dealing with financial situations. And finally, with Saturn's 10th aspect to your fifth house, this tells me that there could be some karmic obligations that you may have towards children, and you will have to pay extra attention to your speculative investments. You will have to take a lot of consistent action in order to maintain good standing in this area. Now, the good news is that after May 14th of 2025, transiting Jupiter will enter the sign of Gemini, which is in your 11th house, and it will cast its seventh aspect to your fifth house of Sagittarius, and this will create a point of manifestation. So while transiting Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, this will actually give you great opportunities to connect with your children, and your speculative investments will be doing quite well. Now, one thing I want to mention about the Saturn transit in Pisces is that the Rahu and Saturn conjunctions in the sign of Pisces will last from March 29th of 2025 until May 29th of 2025. Then after May 29th of 2025, transiting Saturn will remain in the sign of Pisces up until June 2nd of 2027. And then it will return back to the sign of Pisces from October 20th of 2027 and will stay in the sign of Pisces until February 22nd, 2028. Now, the next important transit I want to talk about is that transiting Jupiter will enter your 11th house of Gemini on May 15th of 2025, and it will go through the entire sign of Gemini throughout the next 5 months. So after October 18th of 2025, transiting Jupiter will briefly enter your 12th house of Cancer, but it will return back into the sign of Gemini on December 5th, 2025, and it will remain in your 11th house of Gemini until June 1st of 2026. And while Jupiter is in your 11th house of Gemini, this is going to open up many opportunities to connect with your social network circles, friends, as well as your older siblings. This is also a great opportunity to join any new groups or organizations and meet as many people as possible. You may even meet some influential people that can help elevate your life to a whole new level. These areas in your life are going to move forward very quickly since Jupiter will transit the entire sign within 5 months. And this will allow you to really get things done regarding your 11th house areas. Now, with Jupiter's fifth aspect to your third house, this tells me that you will have several opportunities to connect with your younger siblings and neighbors. You will have a lot of conversations that are meaningful, and this can allow you to develop a very strong connection with one another. This is also a promising transit for finding success in any short stories or articles that you've been working on and completed. You will also have great success in any social media projects that you've been working on, and this will also be a great opportunity to do some short distance traveling. Then, with Jupiter's seventh aspect to your fifth house, this tells me that children and speculative investments will become a big focus point. And this is especially due to the fact that transiting Saturn in your eighth house of Pisces is also casting its 10th aspect to your fifth house. And this is providing a point of manifestation. And I do think you will form strong connections and mutual understanding with your children while Jupiter is in Gemini. This will also be a lucky transit for speculative gains as well. And finally, with Jupiter's ninth aspect to your seventh house, this tells me that relationships with either your business partner and or significant other become extremely important. And you will find yourself getting along with them pretty well throughout this transit. And for some of you who are single, then this transit may present you an opportunity to connect with a special someone that can positively change your life. Now, the next important transit I will be discussing for a Leo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Rahu will be going into your seventh house of Aquarius, and transiting Ketu will be going into your first house of Leo, May 29th of 2025. And it is going to remain in these signs until November 24th of 2026. And this is going to create another big shift when it comes to your self-development, identity, and relationships. Now, with transiting Ketu into your first house of Leo, this tells me that you may be feeling a bit disconnected from the people around you. But this will give you an opportunity to spend some time alone and contemplate the things that really matter to you. This is also a great transit for introspection and self-reflection. Now, with Ketu's fifth aspect to your fifth house, this tells me that you will take a much more spiritual approach when it comes to interacting and connecting with your children, as well as when it comes to dealing with your speculative investments. This will also help cultivate a deeper understanding with one another, especially since Jupiter in Gemini is aspecting your fifth house as well until October 18th of 2025. And with Ketu's ninth aspect to your ninth house, this tells me that you will also take a much more spiritual approach when it comes to interacting with your father and teachers. There will be great interest in the area of spirituality, and this can help you grow on an internal level. However, there could be a temporary disconnect with your higher education studies, so it will be important to address any issues according to the circumstances. Then, with transiting Rahu into your seventh house, this tells me that relationships between your business partners and or significant other will become a huge focus point for you. There may be instances where your partners become extremely overbearing and demanding of your attention. So it is going to be important to address clear boundaries, have clear expectations, and clear communication so that both parties will feel comfortable, heard, and respected. And another important aspect about this transit is that while Jupiter is transiting in your 11th house of Gemini, transiting Rahu in your 7th house will be casting its fifth aspect to transiting Jupiter in your 11th house. And in return, transiting Jupiter will cast its ninth aspect to your 7th house of Aquarius, forming a mutual aspect. And they will both be aspecting your third house of younger siblings, neighbors, short distance traveling, social media projects, short stories, and or articles. So this means that there are going to be lots of opportunities for growth and expansion in these areas. So keep all of this in mind as you navigate this transit. Now, the final transit I want to discuss for a Leo ascendant and or moon sign is that transiting Jupiter will briefly enter your 12th house of Cancer from October 18th of 2025 until December 5th of 2025. and it will turn retrograde on November 11th of 2025 at just under 1 degree of Cancer. So while transiting Jupiter is in your 12th house during this short window of time, this is actually going to give you a preview as to what to expect when transiting Jupiter officially enters your 12th house of Cancer again later in 2026. So I want you to really pay attention to the events that do happen over the course of these 6 weeks, because you will end up receiving the blessings and opportunities of these events in the summer of 2026 when Jupiter officially enters the sign of Cancer. So when Jupiter enters your 12th house of Cancer for these 6 weeks, you may be thinking about resolving a lot of issues from your past that didn't necessarily work out in your favor. And this will be a wonderful healing experience. But because Jupiter will retrograde back into Gemini during the month of December, things will remain unresolved for the time being. However, once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer in the summer of 2026, you will be able to successfully work on healing past issues. This will also be a great transit for getting sound sleep and learning about spirituality. You may even donate to some good causes as well. Now, with Jupiter's fifth aspect to your fourth house, this will give you a preview of how your interactions will be like with your mother. You may even think about making some changes to your current domestic life situation, real estate, or even vehicle matters. And once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer during the summer of 2026, you will be successfully able to enjoy these experiences in a very profound and meaningful way. Then, with Jupiter's seventh aspect to your sixth house, this will give you a preview of the types of interactions and connections you will be having with your coworkers and employees. Some of you may be introduced to new people within the workplace, and these connections will form strongly once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer in the summer of 2026. And finally, with Jupiter's ninth aspect to your eighth house, this will give you a preview of the types of interactions and connections you will be forming with your in-laws. This will also give you a preview regarding new information that you might be learning related to any metaphysical sciences or occult studies. Then once Jupiter re-enters the sign of Cancer in the summer of 2026, you will officially connect in these areas. So this is what I wanted to cover regarding what's going to happen for a Leo ascendant and or moon sign for the year 2025. I hope you guys got something out of this. Once again, if you found this video to be useful, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button. Doing so will tremendously help me with the YouTube algorithm so this video can reach a vast audience. Also, if you're new to my channel and would like to see similar videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on that bell notification. And if you would like to know more about me and what I do as a Vedic astrologer, then please check out my website, universal-fundamentals.com. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.